Hey, this is TapTapKaboom vlog number 7 or episode 7, and I'm going to be talking about caffeine or coffee or caffeinated coffee, not the decaf type or sort. And at the moment I'm on a coffee or caffeine come down. Yesterday I was like, ugh. Last night I had a headache. This morning I had a headache. And you might be wondering, why are you on a coffee come down? Tell us the backstory. So, I'll tell you the backstory. First of all, I love coffee. I love caffeinated coffee. So you just got to understand that. My absolute best coffee is flat white with oat milk. Can't go wrong with that. I absolutely love it. If you're ever in Amsterdam and want a coffee recommendation, I will give you one. I will give you several. They're amazing. So, when I was about 25, I think, I didn't really drink coffee. But then, out of the blue, I started liking things like coffee and beer and olives and things like that. And I remember just tasting some of this ice cream with coffee flavor in it. And I was like, yeah, that doesn't taste too bad. Then I tasted some cheap coffee at a restaurant and yeah, it was okay. And that began my coffee love. And I went from drinking coffee with sugar in it and full cream dairy milk all the way to drinking pure black coffee or filter coffee. And now I own, fancy little coffee things and AeroPresses and Chemex coffee things, and I would say I'm a little bit of a coffee snob. I'd rather not have any coffee if all that's on offer is instant coffee. I think one of my most frustrating memories around coffee is when I went to a friend's house and I saw they had a really fancy coffee machine and they said, you want some coffee? And I was like, yes, I want some coffee. And then they made me instant coffee. And I was like, what is this? It smells so weird. What do I do? So I really like coffee. But the thing is that as I've got older, what coffee does to me has changed. I remember drinking coffee and sitting with a friend, and man, all of a sudden my brain was just on fire because I liked what I was talking about and I was drinking coffee. And then all of a sudden, I had ideas. We were talking. He had been drinking coffee too, and we had so many ideas. We were having fun. We were ideating. It was amazing. And so this began my second love of coffee. Not only did it taste good, but it did something to my brain. And now I'm a natural introvert. Like, I would see myself as a tortoise. And when I drink coffee, it's like me getting out the shell and partying without my shell. Just like naked tortoise doing his thing. Cheers, shell. We forget about that. But then, the next day, when I'm back in my shell, man, the shell is heavy. Ugh, not good. So what we as a culture do, as a society, as humanity do, is drink more coffee so that we can get back outside of our shell. And that's what I do. I need coffee to function. I need coffee to ideate. I need coffee to, get that buzz again. And so recently what I've been doing is cutting back on coffee, drinking decaf coffee. Now, the coffee purists out there, you may have just had a minor heart attack. You are drinking decaf coffee? Yes, I'm drinking decaf coffee. Why? Because I realized that high that I get when I drink coffee, it's available to me almost all the time if I haven't had coffee for about 1 or 2 weeks. I wake up and my eyes are bright. I'm raring to go, and I can operate at that high intensity ideation, brain buzzing kind of feeling for hours, and I don't need to drink coffee. And then when I kind of get tired, I can go for an afternoon nap, wake up again and do it again. But with coffee, with real coffee, I don't really feel tired. I just kind of start to tweak out a little bit, or maybe I even start to shake, or maybe I get really angry and frustrated and annoyed with the people in my life, which I don't really want to do. And so what I've started to do now is drink decaf coffee. And it has had an amazing impact on my productivity, my creativity. And what I realized just on Wednesday is that I don't have to be a hero when it comes to coffee. If I'm out with a friend and they say, hey, should we grab a coffee? Oh, I'll say, yeah, cool. But I don't have to have caffeinated coffee. And if they don't serve caffeinated coffee because they're that kind of coffee place, then I can go for a tea. Green tea maybe, sure, it has a little bit of caffeine in. Normal tea maybe, it has less caffeine than a coffee. Or what about fresh mint tea? And now I'm starting to listen to what my body actually wants. And I'm telling you, when I smell fresh mint tea, I'm like, yes, this is what my body wants. And I know that tomorrow and the next day and the day after that, I'm not going to be like man down, headache, real big weight of my shell on my tortoise body. I'm going to be raring to go. Maybe I won't be like out of my shell buzzing around, but I'll be a very fast tortoise. And maybe sometimes I will be out of my shell. So what's cool about my experience with caffeinated coffee is that I know what's possible. And sometimes if I'm like, yeah, I really need to just do a bunch of stuff because there's a deadline or I really need my brain to generate some ideas, I'll drink coffee. But I'll know what the side effects are. It means that for the next 2 days, probably not going to be operating optimally. Maybe I can watch Netflix comfortably, but if you're asking me to do creative stuff, no, it's not going to happen. So what I want to challenge you with, and you might be wondering, why the heck are you telling us this, Rich? This is so arbitrary, is what I would like to tell you is you should start to listen to your body. You should start to understand what caffeine does and what a prolonged period of no caffeine does. You should understand why you drink it. Do you just enjoy the taste, or are you addicted to that buzz, that like feeling of energy, of coming aliveness? Because if you are addicted to that, I'm telling you that you can achieve it or get that same kind of feeling without drinking coffee for 1 or 2 weeks. And then when you do drink coffee, drink decaf. It's not a sin. You don't have to be a hero. So listen to your body. Start going, man, do I actually need to sleep? Do I need to eat? Do I need to drink more? When you start having a lot of coffee, you don't really understand or you don't really hear what your body's saying because it just masks all of the symptoms. You may be really dead tired, but because you're drinking coffee, you don't know. And you keep on drinking coffee, and eventually your body is just like, nope, had enough, we're sick, something's going to go wrong. Something is going to go wrong. So listen to your body. We've got to start making decisions based on the long term. Can we be creative? Can we be productive over the course of a week, 2 weeks, or a month? So what I like to think about this, or how I like to think about this, is that every decision, especially a short-term decision, whether it be great or not great, it has a long-term effect. And I like to call this a decision hangover. And right now, yes, on Wednesday I had 3 shots of coffee because I was being a hero. Right now I'm paying for that. I have a decision hangover or a coffee hangover. I'm on a coffee come down and it's not great. So what I'd like you to think about is, how do you start making decisions now that affect the future of your creativity, your productivity? Instead of just doing the easy thing or the thing that works for you best right now, perhaps take the long road approach or the long-term approach. Okay, I think that's it. That was more like a lecture, some story, and perhaps maybe I wasn't even as engaging as I usually am because I have a headache and I've been drunk coffee 2 days ago. And yeah, I'm trying to process life at tortoise speed at the moment. And I'm really in my shell and my shell's feeling quite heavy. And I don't want that for you and I don't want that for me. So yeah, think about that. Think about what you consume. Think about the exercise you do, the water you drink, the alcohol you drink, the cigarettes you smoke. Think about what it means for you to do it now, today, and think about what it means for you not to do it, for a month. What kind of effects are those decisions going to have? Okay, that is episode number 7 wrapped up. Goodbye.